Welcome to the finale of Ducktales Remastered, and now we have a bat.
Okay. So where are we going?
We're going to your country, Theo.
Come on, Theo. You know, where does Magica live?
That was rhetorical.
Vesuvius.
You keep up your end, and I'll keep up mine.
Sure. Because as we all know, Golem Gold is usually trustworthy.
So yeah, this is actually my favorite tune in this game.
And it's original.
Uh-huh. Jay Kaufman even made an 8-bit version of it.
Yeah,
this
that's
one
what I
has
want
just
to ask you, Joe. How was the 8-bit version of this?
Pretty good. Obviously not as epic, but still pretty good. Yeah. The reason this is my favorite track is like it has the perfect feel of epicness and sort of a culmination of the past level themes in a certain way. Like you can hear the somberness of the Transylvania theme, the sort of upbeat or rather go get 'em attitude of the Amazon mines. You know, the sense of adventure from the jungle level. Heck, even some of that Himalayan feel on certain chords from the Himalayas. And of course, the somber piano bits from the moon. All the powers combined create, in my opinion, an awesome tune.
Good to know.
Coolio.
Also, last I checked, Vesuvius wasn't this big on the inside, he wasn't active. One thing that people forget, well, I know it's for the sake of the cartoon purpose and everything, but the thing that people don't remember is that the Vesuvius is actually an inactive volcano. Yes, there is pressure under it, so people expect it to actually become active again someday, but for the time being, it's gonna stay quiet.
Indeed.
Okay, this is one thing that's a bit BS about this level. As you know, you have to use those enemies to pogo off. However, if you take out an enemy but don't make it across, they don't respond and you're boned.
Yeah.
Well, you can, if you manage to hold on. That was my actually no, Theo, that was my fault. I timed it wrong. You can, if you do manage to get off the screen, like to get the spot off the screen, they will respawn, but not immediately.
Yeah, the reason you got across is because you were able to leap just long enough to clear the gap between the first one and where the second one pops up. Also, throwback to Donkey Kong.
Yeah, this is kind of a reoccurring trend in 2D platformers nowadays. Like a lot of them like to do this shadowy section thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rayman Origins also did it.
Yeah. For some reason, 2D platformers love doing this.
I don't mind, but I agree that it was a bit saturated.
When it's done good, it's good. So as long as it's done good, I'm fine with it.
It's not that it's done bad. I haven't played a game that did this badly. It's just that I'm not even tired of it. I just find it curious that everyone and their mother likes using this gimmick for some reason.
It's because of the visual spectacle of it.
I guess. I'll say when it comes to using this kind of shadowy with light in the background thing, I think Journey is the one that did this kind of effect the best.
Journey did this? Journey was a 3D platformer.
No, hold on. Journey,
not really.
It is not to this particular effect. You're referring to the sequence where you ride on the sand from that 2D perspective, where the sand becomes this blazing gold thing.
Yeah.
I don't really consider that the same thing. That's more like a saturation of colors.
Yeah, the contrast doesn't happen to be like this for that. It's more of a fact that there's a bit more lighting around it that also creates the gold effect. There's not the contrast of black and shiny.
Not to mention, unlike Journey, there's also a bit of a level design aspect to that shadowy design stuff, where certain enemies or obstacles might be hidden because of the nature of the shadows, in which case it's best to sometimes try and find a light to turn on.
Not really, Joe. The sequence I'm describing doesn't have the enemies.
And then I'm talking about how a level trope usually does that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Boing.
Here we go.
Boing. Boing.
I swear, Miss Beakley shows up even here.
I know, right?
She doesn't show up in here, no.
Oh.
Aww.
Yeah, okay, it's for story purpose, but this level is actually a bit more linear. It makes sense.
Yeah. Again, in the original, it wasn't as linear because you were essentially trying to find the secret hidden room for Dracula Duck in Transylvania, going back
Oh,
there.
jump cut.
Ha!
Okay, here we go.
prayer shot.
That was
but
a
okay.
kind of a leap of faith.
I'll say. Speaking of leap of fates, there we
Yep.
go. Little secret there.
Well, also more gems. Yeah, if I recall correctly, one thing that I haven't mentioned is that the original had a kind of a joke ending that if you got 0 gems, $0 by the end of the game, you get this ending where Scrooge is bankrupt.
Yeah,
But I
in
guess,
the sense of the
obviously they
newspaper
didn't
headline.
replicate it here.
No, I've never tried it.
But I don't think it's possible, because some gems actually are obligatory for you to get.
Yeah.
Not to mention the money that you get from the treasures themselves.
Yep.
Here we go. Yes.
You know,
Oh, shit,
Magica,
even
if you
those.
want Scrooge to bring you the dime, maybe you might want him to bring it well in one
Guys,
piece.
last I checked, we were not ghosts in a volcano here.
Did I
This
miss
volcano
anything?
just
It's
says
a cartoon.
everything.
Just roll with it.
So guys, what have I missed?
Not
We're
much.
going to volcano.
Exquisite value of villainous real estate in a volcano, complete with ninja ducks that are somehow able to swim and jump out of lava, ghosts, and the need to trust your worst
Oh,
enemy.
there you go. Now
Oh,
I'm
boy, here we
puppeteer.
Long enough to catch up. What's the matter? Gold bricks in your caboose? Oh, shut your teeth.
In your
You're not
caboose.
getting any younger yourself, you old windbag. Hush.
Ooh.
Magica may not know we're here yet. We don't want to lose the element of surprise.
So,
Yeah, speaking of.
Surprise!
decided to deliver dime after all.
Release my nephews, you evil enchantress.
Oh, no, you show me number 1 dime.
Here it is.
There you go.
The boys. What? It's been great doing business with you, Scroogey. You too. You've been in cahoots from the
What a
beginning.
surprise, Glumgold was a backstabber.
Before beginning,
Working with Magica.
remember who
Yep.
stole the painting in first place? 'Twas me in disguise, you fool.
Why,
It happened off screen, but,
no
you know.
wonder it was such a bargain.
Without a painting for you, saved expensive.
To be fair, Scrooge, you maybe should have been suspicious that an exquisite painting like that was
It's a
being sold
video
for
game. It's
$5.
show, don't tell.
To complete spell.
Mind?
And now, with all the treasures combined.
We will summon Captain Planet!
This is not exactly a story-heavy game, though. So you don't really need to think too much about
Story.
it.
Yes,
Let him
so-
steam, Pedro. It's best not to confront him.
I now summon Dracula Duck.
By the power invested in me, I summon Count Duckula.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
There
also.
we go.
I, Magica De Spell, have summoned you to do my bidding.
The difference is that, unfortunately, unlike Count Duckula, this one is not a vegetarian. So,
And here's a surprising thing. You think we were gonna go the Sonic route of Dracula betraying Magica, but no, he actually obeys her, and it's a problem.
Whoa! Yeah, that, bugger that.
And also, yeah, his method of attacking is the same as Dracula from Castlevania. Oh shit.
That's new.
Wow.
Oh, he's so big you can see the the
outlines,
painted bits and the sprites.
yep. Okay, so as you can see, you have to use the bats to knock on his head, basically.
Here
And,
we go.
and this particular thing
Oh
is
boy.
just go.
Space Invaders.
Yeah, basically just go to the space where the bats are. There you go, that space there.
Burp, 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 burp.
It also reminds me a bit of the battle with Space Mama in Rayman.
Really?
When she uses the pot attack, you need to stand down where the pots don't align.
And there we go.
I will have my victory.
But now she's about to do something really...
Giant
oh, wait,
Count,
no, never mind.
Count
Again,
Dracula.
Again.
Yeah, she can do one of the 3 power-ups randomly, so the battle
Yeah.
can become very unpredictable. It makes a good change of pace in terms of having an unpredictable boss and having to counter attack, especially because in the original his attacks were, shall I say,
I think his
lame.
attack was pretty much just the sending out bat thing he does.
Yeah.
And occasionally running around.
True.
So at least they spiced things
Pretty
up
much
for
kind
this
of, pretty much like the Count Dracula fight in Quackshot.
Wait, he also showed up in Quackshot?
Not
Yeah.
the same character, but
Not
yeah.
the character, but the voice battle was very similar to the original NES one. Yes. There was a
Ironic,
Transylvania
Java,
name.
considering-
And there was also a Transylvania level in Quackshot. So
Ironic considering Java that the game was actually published by Sega and not Capcom.
Yeah.
it was made by Sega in
Makes
general.
sense.
So.
Yeah. It's so interesting how Sega held some particular
Oh,
license.
hi, Pete's Dragon. I remember you too.
Yeah.
It was because it was
Not just that,
Throwback.
not just that, not just that one of Disney, but also, for example, the Alien franchise. They kept that ever since the Genesis Mega Drive games, and they still have it now.
when it comes to them doing Disney games back in the day, was a continuation of what they were doing before Sonic hit the scene, in the sense that since they didn't have a mascot, they would have games with celebrities like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and stuff. So them having Disney games also part of also having other iconic characters that would be
Which ironically
hit sellers
would inspire-
in case Sonic didn't turn out well, but it did turn out well.
Oh
So
no, I've
eventually,
been defeated by the power of Cain!
yeah, basically.
Which Kane?
A rock solid one that Scrooge carries with him.
There's plenty of Kanes, Jonah, that I know.
I'm so glad you're
And of course, in true tradition, by defeating the evil lord, somehow his fortress starts crumbling for some reason.
Well, it's a volcano, so yeah, maybe we should go.
Yeah, the whole place is falling apart.
still have my #1 dime.
This was also in the original game, albeit, a chase for the dime. Except it was in Transylvania.
Give me dime.
Not till you give me those treasures. I want to filthy.
Yeah, basically the way it goes is like, well, the treasures were mainly the main plot in the NES version, and basically Dracula Duck was just there as the final boss.
Yeah. Oops.
Now neither of you are getting the...
Wait, I need
Well, it's who gets it first.
No, you don't.
You
This is
think
what you get for arguing.
surprisingly, ducks cannot fly.
It's surprisingly lampshaded a bit, Jova.
So it's a
within the
race,
show.
this bit, then.
Yeah. Basically, you have to reach the coin or before they do.
If they reach it...
I think in the original NES version, if they
Yeah.
beat you, then there was actually a bad ending.
No, it's just like a simple game over.
Yeah, same
okay.
here.
Non-standard game overs.
There we go.
Come on.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Nice try, Magica, but I'll be taking my dime with me back to the...
He profits.
Have a lovely time together.
Ha,
Why are we still going up? Oh, right.
that's
yeah,
right.
you have to be very careful in this section because the chains will fall after you use them, so you cannot fuck up here.
Yeah,
Yep.
this part is extra because I recall the game ends as soon as you get the dime in the original NES version.
There we go.
Remember, guys, this is also is also on Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There we go. It's kind of like how it's kind
Not a
of
moment too soon.
there was a surprising
Yeah.
amount of games that got ported to the Game Boy. To give you an idea, that those Tintin 16-bit games that we played, there's also a Game Boy version of Tintin in Tibet, but it's just the same game downgraded. So
Guys, the
what?
Vesuvius is not an island.
Teo, just roll with it.
But that's the thing, the volcano Stromboli actually is, so it wouldn't make more sense.
Yeah.
Together. You, Webigail, Launchpad.
I guess boy should also complain about the duck face, but whatever, it's a cartoon.
We all did it together.
Because we're Ducktales heroes.
Yes, why not?
Let's head for home.
Let
Oh.
go of me, you doddering old deadweight.
Oh, pipe down, you mangy bird.
Just spin around a few times, you'll fall off.
Yes.
So yeah, and here's a Beagle Boy.
The loading times are random, I think, with that.
Yeah. Duckburg Times. Scrooge remains the richest duck in the world, and Glomgold is captured.
Oh.
It was real swell of you to give Glomgold a lift home, Mr. McD.
To prison.
Aye. I'll put it on your bill, Flinty. You can pay me back in, say 3 to 5 years.
Just 3 to 5 years for attempted murder. Wow, that's pretty lenient.
Mark my words.
Yeah, sure.
And I love this final line.
Come on, lads. Let's head to the ice cream shop.
Yay, ice cream. Here, listen here.
Hey, can we each get our own cone this time at the
Hold on.
I'm in a generous mood today. In fact, each of you can even get a cone with ice cream.
Yay! Ice cream in a cone.
And he winks at the camera. Well, sure, why not? And now we get the iconic DuckTales song, "He Will Never Leave, He Will Never Leave."
From the show.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what song? I don't recall.
Of course.
I have finally done the ultimate meditation.
Tyrannical Overlord, Baldy Way.
Long, long last, and oh crap, it's back.
I mean, the reboot, the reboot is now going, so yeah, it's here to stay. You can't do anything about it. Anyway, yeah, that was DuckTales Remastered. Dwebs, you start.
Yeah, well, it makes since I'm the least familiar one with the show. I have seen bits and pieces of the show here and there, but not a full episode. But if this is what the show is like, then yeah, I'm actually tempted to go check out the show myself.
Wait, hold on. Tim Curry was a technical artist?
Yes, Tim Curry worked on this game apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let's
I
continue.
mean, I recall he voiced a character, but I didn't know he was a technical artist.
Yeah, but yeah, this game looks rather a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I don't have a console I can play it on anymore since I got rid of my PS3. Is this on Steam?
It is.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I might get it on Steam at some point.
Knowing way forward, it'll probably come to Switch as well eventually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Capcom will eventually put this on modern
Jake
consoles.
Kaufman, audio guy.
Yeah. Written by Matt Bozon, aka the writer, director, and creator of the Shantae series.
And 2 others.
Mm-hmm.
His names I've forgotten already. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a really fun game.
What do you think of the music?
Oh, I like the music.
Awesome. Alright, anything else?
Next.
No.
No.
Alright, seems like a pretty fun game. It's a pretty, it's a pretty standard platformer for the most part. It has a lot of charm. I mean, I've seen a fair few episodes of the original show and a couple of the remaster. Mm-hmm. And it has the it has the same,
charm.
Yeah, there we go. I can't think of another word since I already said that one.
Spectacle.
But, there we go.
Passion.
Yes.
Beauty.
Yes. Okay. Jova. Okay. Yes. The music is fantastic. I'd never heard the original tracks before, but yeah, these remakes were great. And yeah, that's all I really have to say.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, Tio.
Yeah, solid remake. Really appreciated. Also, almost practically all aspect. I guess the only thing I can mostly complain is the fact that sadly for the localization it was text only. DuckTales also has a huge impact here in my country, but the fact that they kept only the English voiceover for this remake was a bit of a bummer. But it's still acceptable for me. I really enjoyed it. I took the Steam version and I completed it easily. It's a fun remake, so solid one for me. Next.
I guess I'll go next then. Yeah, this is definitely a pretty top-notch fun game for a remake. Yeah, it's not long, but what do you expect? It's a remake of a short game. And it adds on some good story layers for something that's an adaptation of the show. Yes, the original, which I watched as a kid and am a big fan of. It definitely does a great job. Brings the good cast. Thank God Alan Young got to have a good high point before, sadly, he passed away. But he still shines bright here. The cast are all doing their best, absolutely. The visuals have evolved great. The music is sublime. And yeah, there's never really a dull moment. The only problem, I guess, is the Himalayas episode, which is the only episode I feel they actually made slightly worse. But even that's not really that bad. It's still fun. And hey, the story elements still help it out a lot.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah,
Great remake.
I definitely recommend you try out this remake. It's available on a heck of a lot of consoles, and probably will get ported down to the future. So yeah, enjoy, kids. It's DuckTales. Woohoo!
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jake Hoffman doing a solo piano cover of the Moon theme.
Yeah, and it sounds beautiful. He actually showcased this song before the game came out at Comic-Con. So that's kind of interesting.
Yep.
For me,
I thought that said Tom Jones.
as for me, as someone who actually did grow up with the show as it was first airing here in Portugal, I absolutely adore this game. Everything about it is top notch. WayForward did a fantastic job. It's abundantly clear that Matt Boson is a huge fan of the original show because everything it shows, because he perfectly replicates the tone and the style of the show with this, making this into the definitive way to play the original DuckTales game to me. Because don't get me wrong, obviously the original 8-bit game is a classic, but with the extra edited version of the actual vocal theme, and of course the cutscenes that make this feel like an episode of the show, or rather a collection of episodes, further adds to the authenticity of the license it's using. So definitely my preferred way of playing the original game, because not only because of that, but it also fixes a lot of problems the original game had. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful game, and a wonderful love letter to the childhood of 80s and /90s kids. So thank you, WayForward and Capcom. And Disney, because as well, because it's worth mentioning Disney, because it was actually Disney who suggested to Capcom that WayForward should be the one to make this remake, and it was a great idea indeed.
Basically, Joe, it was around that time that Disney actually was suggesting what to do with the video game they had. The same, for example, they suggested to Double Fine to make remasters importing for modern system of Grim Fandango, and then later on Full Throttle and Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah,
basically the LucasArts library.
Yeah, and for the Spider-Man PS4 game, it was Marvel literally looking for a developer who was really interested in making a great game for Spider-Man. But that's it. Anyway, the point is, this game is fantastic. The end. So tune in for.
Good.
So tune in for, I guess, when we do the original or any of the Disney Afternoon
Pedro,
collection stuff.
don't you have a little surprise for the audience at the end of this part?
I do? I don't remember having one.
Use the bar and scan it to the end.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, at least you guys enjoy it. At least you can enjoy the theme.
Warren Spector.
The guy who made the Deus Ex and also
Epic
Mickey games. AKA the worst waste of potential I ever seen, but whatever.
Well, yeah. Epic Mickey.
Talk for another
actually,
day.
yeah, even Epic Mickey kind of wasted some
potential. Talk for another day.
Thank you so much for playing this game.
Jovan.
Oh, wait, shoot, sorry, wrong game.
Do you want to get murdered?
It's my job.
In hindsight, Jova, thank you for making me dusting off my joke about asking for your fingers.
It's again.
Jova, that's my job.
Remember, guys, I'm doing an Italian-American accent, not an Italian accent.
That's just the thing, Jova. Charles Martinet is the only one that gets a pass because, well, he's Charles Martinet.
But exactly, guys, remember, I'm American like Charles Martinet, so I am the Charles Martinet of the group.
No, you're not.
Sure you are. Anyway, the point is that was the game.
And yes,
so
we end this by jumping into the money bin, and as the reboot does tell us, it's not as easy as he makes it look.
Anyway, everybody, we can leave you with the rest of it. So tune in for whatever Disney Afternoon thing we do. There's a collection out there, so maybe we can do that at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll to do the sequel.
Sure.
True.
All right. See you then.
See ya.